Hi, it's Trixie, and today we're going to attempt the impossible task of ranking the seasons of the cult classic television program Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Hi, it's Trixie, and I would say that one of the most cringe millennial gay things about me is that I am a huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a program that was on public television or network television in the 90s through the 2000s, and I was pretty much exactly the age that was very interested in that. I was in high school, middle school, like right around that age, and I was very interested in a teenage girl who was trying to save the world every day. And we had horrible reception. You guys, I could barely get TV reception where I lived. It was so remote. So I would work at Shaper's Chicken, I would work at Jungle Gyms, I would work at all these different restaurants washing dishes, and I would save the money and I would go to the Sam Goody, which doesn't exist anymore. Kids, Google it. And I would buy the DVD box sets and I would take them home. I got into it because my friend Rachel, hi Rachel, you put her tag here. Rachel, who does creative services now for different brands here in California and abroad. She loved Buffy, I loved Buffy. We love to talk about Buffy, and damn, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna tell you a little bit as we go. If this was not a progressive program for women, for homosexuals, for all of it. Incredible metaphors, incredible kung fu, makeup, the acting, the music, the production, the lighting, everything about the show is amazing. Everything about the show is amazing. And now that I work in TV a little bit, I watch it and I watch these like full body monster makeups with these kung fu scenes, 90% night shoots. I'm like, how did they do this? They basically are making a movie a week because this is an hour-long show. So I thought, I have some notes here, and I thought I would tell you my ranking of the seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I watched a lot of ranking type videos, and frankly, I think that some of these little bitches take you guys on a very unnecessary 45-minute ride. I don't know why these like ranking style videos on YouTube are an hour and a half. I think it's like, Mary, can we just move it along? Like we don't have 45 minutes, okay? So I thought I would sit here and tell you why I have ranked these in the order they're ranked in, and I'm gonna defend it. And you can fight me in the comments because I'm gonna tell you, when I tell people that, for example, my favorite Scream movie is Scream 3, and people look at me like I am a crazy person. My favorite season of American Horror Story is Freak Show, and people look at me like I'm wild. So I know I have some very unpopular opinions, but fight me or bite me. Before I get going, by the way, I am Trixie Mattel. Some of you might just be a random Buffy fan. I do feel like a lot of Gen Z started watching Buffy like during the pandemic. It's a great sit in your house and watch television program. So I'm Trixie and I'm not related to the program in any way. I don't know any of these, well, I do know some of these people, but my opinions are my own. I don't know people who made the show. I don't know writers. I've met, I only know a couple people peripherally. I actually went to Comic-Con a couple years ago when the Buffy universe launched Slayers, that podcast, and I got to meet, the whole cast. I got to meet Spike and Cordelia and Anya and everybody, Tara, everybody was there. That was very exciting. That was honestly, can I be honest with you guys? It was extremely good money and it was really good accommodations and it was like the easiest job ever. And Nick was there.
I was.
What's funny is we were there filming and I remember the whole time we were setting up what we were gonna do, we were like, all right, we gotta figure out how we're gonna get me from point A to point B in Comic-Con because obviously when I walk out there, everyone's gonna lose their shit. No one cared.
No one cared.
No one thought I was even a Trixie impersonator. They thought I was just a homosexual with a particularly nice hairline. Nobody cared. Nobody knew who I was and nobody cared, which was very humbling. But luckily the cast of Buffy cared and they were really sweet to me. So it was a great environment to work in. It was weird that if you're obsessed with something long enough, the universe will just like reward it. That does happen to me sometimes. But these are my own opinions. And most of these opinions were formed when I was like in 8th grade watching this on my grandma's, TV. So follow me. All right, so I knew what my order was, but I had to write it down so I don't f this up. So again, this is like gonna inspire a lot of anger because people who love Buffy are very impassioned and we all have different ideas. I understand that some of this is gonna be deeply unpopular and you can unsubscribe. If this is how I lose you, this is how I lose you, okay? I never met my real dad. I'm used to just people just fluing the coop. I'm gonna start here. My first favorite season of 7 seasons, my first favorite is season 3. I know that this is a wild choice maybe. So if you guys don't know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is, maybe you're watching this because you like me and you don't know, and maybe you'll still watch this. Because there's always comments that are like, I don't know anything about what she's talking about, but I still watch this. So maybe you're still gonna watch this. But it's a program about a teenage girl who is the chosen one who has to fight the forces of darkness to save, you know, the world. And she has magical and fun and colorful best friends and enemies who aid or, you know, abet or get in the way of her trying to do that. And a lot of metaphors about coming of age and being a woman and being an adult and finding yourself and all that. It's a great program. So my first favorite season is season 3 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So this is Buffy's senior year of high school. So there's graduation, right? There's this overarching theme of like, what are we gonna do after high school? Who are we gonna be? What college are we gonna go to? Am I gonna move away? What is our relationship with each other going to be once we graduate? Is it ever gonna be the same again? And I feel like that's very relatable. Like people feel that at the end of high school, even if you hate it, you kind of feel that way. So the main reason I like season 3 is we get the introduction of Faith, who is basically the other vampire slayer. So in season 2, we get Kendra. Kendra dies, and when Kendra dies, we get Faith. And Faith is basically, as I understand it, Buffy if she had like none of the same support. So it's like not a great family relationship, not a bunch of best friends, nothing like went her way. And she got very calloused. She got very all for herself. It's basically like Buffy's opposite. I mean, the blonde hair and the dark hair, and Buffy's kind of a goody-goody, and Faith is kind of, you know, slutty and violent, and that's kind of fun. And because we get Faith, we also get Mayor Wilkins, who's like the big bad guy of the season, who eventually wants to turn into a snake and be immortal, and good for him. But the best things about the mayor are his relationships, his scenes with Faith, because he's kind of like the father figure that she never had, and she's like tough and kind of like slutty biker chick kind of vibe, and he's like kind of brings out the sweet side of her, and you start to see this side of Faith where you're like, wow, things were just a little bit differently.
I think because of Faith too, Buffy actually becomes such a more well-rounded character.
Totally.
You have that foil. I feel like the first couple seasons, she was a little flat. She was the hero. It was kind of hard to create conflict for her. Bringing Faith in really provided a lot of opportunity to dive deeper into her psyche, which I liked.
And then you also watch Buffy kind of almost be jealous of Faith's freedom.
Yeah, she gets to misbehave. She gets to be bad. The first couple seasons were so like, I'm the hero and I have to take on this burden, which is great, but that doesn't last for 7 seasons. You need your main character to have some flaws, and that kind of creates that.
And then it's their senior year of high school, so you get a lot more time with the principal. Love Principal Snyder. I mean, I love in a show like this, a character who's just so f***ing annoying. It's so grating, but you love to see them on screen. And it's so satisfying when he finally, spoiler alert, just gets eaten. By the way, this is all spoilers. I'm gonna ruin the program for you.
If you're ranking finales of the seasons too, this is probably the most extreme finale of any season.
The finale is really fierce. I mean, Buffy and gang basically spread out and tell the whole student body to be ready for a battle. And there's this moment where they all rip off their like graduation uniforms. And it's kind of symbolic of throwing the hat. They're kind of like adults. They're going to fend for themselves, whatever. And then there's a huge explosion, which is really cool. This season also has some really good episodes. Obviously, the finale, Graduation Day Part 2, is really cool. I love the storyline where Faith poisons Angel and the only cure is the blood of a slayer. So Buffy tries to go kill Faith. That was so horny. Ooh, it hits. Ooh, it hits. It's so good. And then obviously it's fun to watch these characters fight crime in skin-tight leather outfits. I'm telling you, these bitches wouldn't be able to lift their legs in real life, so I don't know how they did it. The technology of the stretched leather in the 90s was there. They also have the wish. This is the episode where Cordelia makes the wish that Buffy never came to Sunnydale.
That's such a good episode.
Crazy. I mean, everybody's a vampire. It's wild. It's also very disturbing to watch like Willow as a vampire. That's a really violent episode too, because also we get the Master back. Love the Master, one of my all-time favorites. So an episode with the Master, it's like hell yeah, bitch. And then we also get Homecoming, the episode with Slayer Fest 98, where Buffy versus Cordelia for like Homecoming Queen. That's horny too. And I love Cordelia, especially like Cordelia, high school Cordelia, petty Cordelia. That shit fun. Anyway, to sum it up, I think season 3 is like peak Buffy. She has the best hair. She has these chunky highlights with the lowlights. The whole Faith thing is like one of the best things of the series, I think. And honestly, we'll get to it later, but I don't truly give a shit about Angel, so I like that he leaves. It's the season where we get him the out of here. Moving on. Any final words on season 3?
No, I think you're correct.
You guys, Nick watched this a couple years ago. He like binged the whole series, so he's my crackpot colleague today.
And I always have an opinion.
And he always has an opinion. My second favorite season in my ranking list here. I know that this is crazy. I love season 7 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love season 7. I think it ties the season like in a perfect bow. I love the super vampires that, what are they, the Turkon or whatever, the super vampires that Buffy has to fight. Love. The first evil is so amazing. Them coming up with a character who turns into characters from all 7 years who have died. So we get this like revolving wheel of characters coming back. We get Warren, we get, Lori again, who's one of my all-time favorites. Like, we get all these dead people coming back, speaking through the first, which is very horny. And then we get this storyline with the potentials basically being like, there's Buffy, who's a vampire slayer, and then there's a group of women who have the potential to maybe be the next slayer. And finally, the forces of evil become smart enough to just start killing off all the potentials. Because if you kill off the whole slayer line, then you kill Buffy, there's no more vampire slayers. So I love this season. I feel like them attacking the Slayers as a whole, the entire Slayer legacy, makes the stakes feel high. The super vampires make the stakes feel high. Spike has a soul, which feels crazy, right? Because you as a viewer from season 2, you're like, wow, is Spike my favorite person now?
It's such an interesting character because he's such an accidental character.
Yeah.
It's one of those early experiences of fans really having such a say. Really, the fans were the only reason his character even lasted as long.
Yeah, and like Spike dying to kind of like save everyone is really fierce. This season also has, we get Faith back in a major way. You guys know I love Faith. We get kind of the conclusion of Xander and Anya, a very bummer conclusion if you ask me, but just a great season. And then obviously the whole season is about the push and pull of Buffy trying to be herself and also have this responsibility to save the world. And the ending being a really elegant way to relieve her of that responsibility. You as a viewer just feel like she got what she wanted. Love that. I thought it had so much symmetry to it.
I think it's the perfect ending of a TV show, which is very rare.
Yeah.
I think what Buffy was really great at and what they were known for was like, you didn't always get the happy ending. They didn't always win. And that was so refreshing in TV, especially in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, it's always like, oh, is that what you want? Well, let me tell you, you're never going to get it. Like, if you see 2 people on Buffy happy, like, just wait. It's kind of like Walking Dead in that way, where like even main characters just die. But like how I tell you guys I'm not a TV person and then I've seen all these shows. This season also has, there's so many good episodes. I love the episode Potential with Amanda, where Buffy's the high school counselor who accidentally, one of the potentials goes to school with Dawn. I also love the episode, do you guys remember the one Conversations with Dead People? Buffy's talking to a guy she knew from school who was like a psych major, who's a vampire now. And so there's like this whole therapy session playing out in the graveyard. And then you get Willow talking to who she thinks is Tara. That is a very impressive episode of television, I think. I don't have to defend myself. I love season 7. I think it starts with a bang with like them opening Sunnydale High again. And that momentum, the first evil's so scary. The scene where the first evil's Buffy and talks to Buffy as Buffy is like so epic and crazy. Also, the first evil pretending to be Drusilla, pretending to be so many different characters is one of my favorite parts.
I think a lot of final seasons of television are guilty of becoming like a greatest hits season, but I think Buffy does it really well in how they integrate it into the story. It's not just bringing people in randomly. It all feels very intentional.
Right. You get a slideshow, like a reunion, basically, of all your favorite actors without it feeling heavy-handed. Because the first can just turn into anybody who's died, including Buffy, because she's died like several times. All right, this is my 3rd favorite. And this, when I was younger, I did not like this season, but as I got older, maybe it's because I have younger siblings, like this season really made me feel like it's maybe sometimes I think it's one of my favorite seasons. I think season 5 is amazing. This season starts so crack-headed, right? If you're a viewer, suddenly in the first episode, after 5 seasons, Buffy just has a sister. And I think that really speaks to the trust that this program built with an audience, because they can just introduce a new family member and act like she was always there. And you as the viewer are like, okay, sure. Because you kind of have been taken on a few rides already in the series, Me,
as somebody watching it years later streaming, where I had every single episode in front of me at my disposal, I sat there going, did I miss something?
No, for real.
Like, I went back, did I skip a season? Did I miss episodes? And then to think about that in the context of it being on TV in the early 2000s where you couldn't just go rewatch something easily. I could only imagine the mind that was happening to people watching it in real time.
I couldn't imagine, because I was watching it retroactively. I think when I was watching season 5, I think I recall season 7 being on TV. I think that's about how behind I was when I was watching it, because I was always waiting for the season to go to DVD, because I couldn't get TV reception. So if you ever want to know how country I was, I couldn't get TV reception.
And let's not forget too, season 5 starts with Buffy versus Dracula.
Oh yes!
So it just starts level 100.
Season 5 starts with Buffy vs. Dracula. I mean, what a horny way to start a season. Like, there's a new character who's Buffy's sister, and there's Dracula. The Dracula episode is so cool. That actor did such a good job. The magic Dracula does is cool. Dracula's fierce. I mean, we get the arrival of Dawn, Buffy's younger sister, Michelle Trachtenberg. Rest in peace. Really sad that she died this year. She is so amazing. For like a very young actress in this program, coming in 5 seasons in as a main character. I just don't think if I was that age, I would have the nerve to do something like that. But obviously she was a professional actress, you know, so. Dawn really grew on me as the series went on. You start to really love Dawn and you start to really feel for her. Maybe it's because I have younger sisters too. I start to really like, as a viewer, hope good things happen for Dawn, you know. And we also get my favorite villain of all time. We get Glory. I got to interview Claire Kramer once on a podcast and I was like, do gay guys just come up to you all the time and tell you how much they love Glory? I mean, somebody who is basically sassy and hot like Buffy, but in like even better outfits and way stronger than Buffy. Love. Plus there's a light cross-dressing element, right? She's kind of half a guy, which is kind of amazing.
Her male counterpart was so hot.
Ben is Glory, that's right. It is fun to watch this whole team assemble and try to protect Dawn. The end of the season where they just skip town in a Winnebago. Because I feel like in all these seasons, we've never seen Buffy run. And so when Buffy puts everybody in a Winnebago and flees, you're like, oh, this is really, if Buffy can't fight it, this is pretty bad. It feels very dire this season. It feels very dire. We also get the body. I don't want to do ultra spoilers, but that episode made me cry a lot. It still makes me cry when I watch it.
I just got chills thinking about it. It's such a painful episode of television.
And it like opens with Sarah Michelle Gellar seeing the dead person. Spoilers. That one long scene of her like calling 911 and trying to resuscitate the body is so crazy. And there's something, if you ever had a family member die, there's something very bizarre and dreamlike and like serene and still and boring about death. And that episode is so quiet and long. You feel that weird like awkwardness.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar got a lot of shit about her acting. That was the episode where like
people don't like Sarah Michelle Gellar acting.
I think she got better as time went on.
She turns it in this.
But
I
think if anybody had any doubt about how good of an actress she is, this episode just proved all the haters wrong.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I cry like a fucking baby watching this episode every single time. It's horrible. For a television program to attempt to talk about that, I think is like, takes a lot of finesse. It's really magical what they did. And then the gift, obviously, like Buffy's died 100 times, but I cry my fucking eyes out when she dies at the end of the season. It is, and then they show the gravestone. She really seems fucking dead. I remember like watching that and crying like a baby. Oh my gosh. It's a great season. I said that I wasn't gonna do a long recap, but here we are. We're probably 40 minutes in. Okay, so we have my favorites, season 3, then season 7, then 5. And then we get, my 4th favorite is season 6. Season 6 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is dramatic, it's emotional, it's chaotic, it's depressing. Oh gosh, themes of, you know, horrible breakups and addiction and kind of like sexual assault themes when you watch it, unhealthy sexual relationships. It is a very dark, it's dark-sided. Plus you have Buffy coming back from heaven, so she's all emo. Buffy gets kind of the strawberry blonde hair, which I'm never really sure about when I watch it. I mean, you get the musical episode. There's a fucking musical. There's an hour-long musical episode. It's really crazy. Not to mention they all really sing. So it's all of them really, Sarah Michelle Gellar singing and dancing. It's really fucking crazy. You also get the Seeing Red episode. I mean, the whole Willow addiction thing is like so deep and dark and crazy and sad to watch and like scary. Very scary. It's very scary to watch that. I mean, when you think of like Willow from season 1 with like her computer and her books, and then you see her as basically like a drug addict, it's very dark-sided. This is like a weird episode to love, but I love a Double Meat Palace. They never address that vampire slayers don't get money. Nobody gives the vampire slayer money to live. So Buffy works at basically a fucking Burger King. So you get the vampire slayer flipping burgers. It's great. This is a crazy season, and that is really a crazy episode, but I love season 6. It's so crazy, and obviously Dark Willow, Evil Willow, Buffy fighting Willow is crazy. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. Every time Willow cries in this series, I cry. She's such a beautiful performer. It's like, rip my heart open. I love this season. I know it's like, but do you guys agree as fans, season 6 is good, but it's like a difficult watch? By season 6, you really like everyone and you're watching horrible things happen to everyone. It's really a fucked up season, but I love it anyway. Well, let's draw a card. Look in the mirror and say you are beautiful. That means the most coming from you. Not helpful. And then it's not tarot cards, I guess. Okay. So now we're getting toward the end of the list. These are going to be like my lesser favorite seasons. Like when I watch in succession, I'm always like, all right, now we're on this season, you know? So number 5 for me is season 4. I know that that's shocking to some of you because people have told me they love that season. I don't super care for Adam. I don't super care for the initiative. I guess I care for Maggie Walsh. I do like the Veruca episodes with Oz. Oz leaving is depressing. Oz coming back pisses me off. I mean, obviously I love Tara and it's the beginning of Tara and that's fun. And controversial opinion, I love Riley. I think it's the best boyfriend Buffy ever has. And I think she fucks it up. So I love season 4, but not like a lot, if that makes sense.
They had to completely reinvent what they were doing. And it's such a jump from season 3. It feels like such a different show.
Upon watching it again too, I mean, obviously, did you guys notice in episode 1 that Pedro Pascal's literally in it? He's literally gets turned into a vampire. Crazy.
That's what's fun about shows from this era. You see these people that have just a weird little single cameo.
Yeah. Oh, you know what my favorite episode of this season is? Living Conditions, the one where her roommate's a demon. That shit is so funny. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to whoever plays Kathy. That shit is so funny. She opens the fridge and there's like hard-boiled eggs with Kathy written on it. I went to college, I had a dorm room, I had roommates. Kind of like that. Obviously, Hush is amazing. The episode with no dialogue is incredible. Masterpiece. So scary. The other day I Googled, how do they make the gentleman float? Them floating down the street in that series, like, it's amazing.
There are some episodes where if you completely took it out of context, if you just took that episode and the show didn't exist and you tweaked a couple things, it could be its own horror movie.
Oh yeah.
That could have been a standalone.
Hush is so scary. I mean, and you have to think for actors to learn all those scenes and act them out with no words. How do you act a whole scene that's basically a dialogue using like eye movements and gestures? Like, it's pretty impressive how they did that. All right, anyway, season 4 has some highlights. I just don't love it. But I think the best part of season 4 is honestly Living Conditions, and we get harmony. Right. We get the vampire harmony, which is the fucking funniest. I think one of the funniest things in the show, vampire harmony. So good. All right, so now in slot number 6, we have season 2. I know that you guys love Angel. I'm really happy for you. It's not my most favorite Buffy romance, and I know that historically this is a season that made viewers like really watch. I kind of could take it or leave it. I like Jenny Calendar. I like the Career Day 2-part episode, I believe. And I love Bad Eggs. That shit's scary. And I love the one with John Ritter, where he plays the evil robot. So there are some good episodes. Honestly, I'm not like so horny by the end of it when she's fighting Angel. I'm not like, and I know that that's maybe my issue. That's okay. I can be wrong. I'm wrong.
Seasons 1 and 2 is when they started to transition to a more mature show. It was very much like a Monster of the Week. Every episode had a different villain, kind of had its own arc that ended. And as TV was developing, as we were getting these more complex TV shows, it adapted, which I think was a positive for it.
Can I just add something?
Yeah.
Tea. Okay, and this is my least favorite season, and honestly, when I recommend the show to friends, I would recommend it to any of you, all of you. There is something in Buffy that you will see in yourself and you will feel comforted and seen and buoyed, I'm telling you. When I tell people, I'm like, you have to kind of get through season 1. And I don't want to be a hater, because obviously the finale of season 1, Prophecy Girl, where she goes to fight the Master, is amazing. And I do love the opening, Welcome to the Hellmouth. Like, I honestly think you could watch the first 2 episodes, Welcome to the Hellmouth and The Harvest, and then you could skip to the end. I think. It's kind of cheesy music. It's kind of cheesy lighting. Not to mention at the beginning of the show, the martial arts is like a cartwheel, a kick. By season 4, they're doing backflips and shit.
And budget, mama. Like,
and budget.
As the show was successful, you could see all of that improve. Like, they were working on a shoestring budget.
Go back to my first YouTube videos. That's my season 1. All right, we didn't have great audio.
Shout out to Julie Benz though, as Darla.
Shout out to Julie Benz.
Love her. One of my favorite characters.
She's so good. We actually worked with her, Nick and I. We saw her. We did something at the Academy Museum. I hosted the anniversary of Jawbreaker, and Julie Benz was there. And when I tell you guys that she might be a vampire.
Oh, she looks the exact same.
She looks the exact same. My God, what a beauty in real life. They're all beautiful though. Love them all. I mean, when I met Cordelia in real life, Charisma Carpenter, she looked the same. Sarah Michelle Gellar looked the same. They're all looking the fucking same. You guys, this is a lot to cram into a video. After doing one of these, I can understand why these are supposed to be 45 minutes long. I feel like we talked a lot and we barely scraped the surface. This felt like a TikTok, and it should have been a 2-part Titanic VHS box set. If you guys like vampire shit, Max one time did a sponsored video where we got to watch True Blood. So if you like that shit, that's fun too. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let me know, like, honestly, my dream would be that you guys flood the comments with just your favorite scene. Let me know what like your top 3 are, because I would love to know what other people think. I have heard from people that me loving season 7 is crazy. I think season 7 is so good. I almost sometimes think 5 is better than 7 because Glory and Dawn and all that is so good. Also, you get Tara going crazy. Season 5 is good. I don't know. You know what? We might be back in a week totally redoing this list, but thank you for joining. You know, recently we've been having so much fun on the channel. We've been trying new type of shit. Do you guys like this? Is it too informative? Let me know. We don't have to do this. Or if you have a show that you want me to do this for, let me know. I don't know a lot of shows. I mean, I know Buffy like an encyclopedic way. What else could we do that I've seen a million times? The Office. Let me know if you want me to do this with The Office. I don't think any of you will want that, but let me know. Okay, thank you for joining me. I gotta go. Bye.